All right, let's talk about arrays, creating arrays and modifying arrays. Now, arrays is one of those things, one of those collection types that you will be using in many different applications. All right. So we have already covered the concept of arrays, which is basically a list, and it can hold multiple items. So let's see how we can implement that in our code. I'm going to create a numbers array. So numbers equals to 1, 3, 5, blah, blah, blah. And that's how you create an array. Now this array is a little bit special because we have created the array called numbers, and we have already initialized the array with some initial values, 1, 3, 5, 8, 9, 10. But sometimes we don't have the values that we want to put inside the array. Maybe the array is coming from somewhere, and our values are coming from somewhere, and we want to insert them later on. So how can we do that? Well, in that case, your array will be empty. But you have to specify what will your array contain. Will it contain numbers? Will it contain strings or booleans or float or double? Well, in our case, it's going to contain integers. So this is basically saying that this array can only contain numbers, integers. If I try to add a string into the array, it will complain. Let's go ahead and initialize the array. This is the initializer, and we're going to cover it when we're covering classes and objects. But think of it as this one is, these brackets open and closes right now, saying that I'm going to generate an array. I'm going to initialize an array. All right? Now our array is empty. How can we insert elements to the array? So let's see some methods on the array that we can use. Numbers.append. Okay, append, so meaning add something. Well, let's see different method on that. Append an element. So I'm going to enter 10 into my array. But there's a problem. Do you know what the problem is? Look at the output. Look at the console. What is it saying? It's saying that we have declared numbers array, which is on line number 5, but we have declared it with let. And what did we learn about the let? It's a constant. You cannot change it. Once you have declared it, you cannot go and start changing it. And what we are doing, we're changing it, right? We have a numbers array, and we are trying to add an item to that array, which has been defined by let. Let is like we can change it. Once it's created, it's created. You can go ahead and start changing it. So how can we solve this problem? Use var. All right. There we go. Use var. There we go. It solved our problem. And you can see on the right hand side, it's displaying 10 in the array, meaning that we inserted the number 10 inside the array. So let's go ahead and add a few more numbers. Numbers.append, and I'm going to add 12. And numbers.append, I'm going to add 33. And you can see that how the array keeps on adding the items or new items into itself. All right. So if I want to change or access number 12, how can I do that? What will be the index of number 12? We learn about the indexes in the concept of the arrays. So this is index 0, which is 10. Number 12 is index 1. So let's go ahead and print it out. So numbers index 1. And it's going to be 12. If I pass an index of 0, what is it going to be? 10, right? Arrays always start with 10. Sorry. Arrays always start with index 0. All right? So 0 is 10, at index 1 is 12, and at index 2 is 33. All right? What about if I try to insert a string into the array? What's going to happen then? So numbers.append and hello world. It doesn't like it. It's saying that, well, you cannot convert value of type string to expected type int. You have declared the array on line number 5, and you all explicitly said that it's going to contain only integers. So you can't go ahead and start putting strings in there, because this array is a special array. It can only hold integer values. All right, so we can't really do that. What about if we want to modify the array? I don't like this 12. I want to replace it with 100. So how can I do that? Well, first I have to access this 12, which I can if I pass in 1 over here, because the 12 value is at index 1 of the array, equals to 100. And that's how you modify an array. So now if I print out the array numbers, you're going to see that 12 is gone, and now we have 100. Okay? So these are some little things about arrays, about creating an array, adding items into an array, and also changing items to the array. And next up, we're going to see dictionaries, which are also one of the other collection types. But pay special attention to the arrays, because everything that you see on the screen is mostly, if you see a list of tweets, list of Facebook posts, list of Pinterest pictures, list is an array. All right. Now, obviously, those arrays will not have like numbers or strings. They will have something called objects that we will cover later on. Don't worry about it right now. But think about it, right? If you go on ebay.com and you're searching for a book, and a list of books comes in on your page, that list is an array. So you have seen arrays everywhere. All right, it's just a matter of implementing them, modifying them. All right, hope you like it, and practice arrays a lot, because this is going to be a very important concept once we moved ahead and once we start implementing our classes and objects. All right, thank you.